Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the ADDIESDIVE MY-H8v Captain Willard. It's called the Captain Willard because it's similar to the watch worn by Martin Sheen in the movie Apocalypse Now. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing a Cadison homage to an AP Royal Oak, and Greg was wearing a Benyard Daytona homage. I asked Grogu if he has ever seen the movie Apocalypse Now. He said no, but once he watched a snail crawl along the edge of a straight razor, so he ate it. He also loves the smell of frog eggs in the morning. They smell like hickory. Here's the watch. It's very similar to a Seiko 6105-81110. The original Seiko watches were made in the 70s, and they were very popular among soldiers in Vietnam due to the fact that they could handle the humidity and rain of the jungles of Vietnam much better than the standard issue watches of the time. It's very similar to a Seiko Turtle, but it's got this built-in crown guard here that the Turtle doesn't have. In fact, a lot of people call Captain Willard's Turtles. The watch is 41.1 millimeters at the bezel, and normally I just measure at the bezel because that's what's important, but in this case the case sticks out way past the bezel. So it's 43.7 millimeters at the case, only 47 millimeters lug to lug, 13.5 millimeters high, has a 20 millimeter lug width, and weighs 175 grams, so it's fairly heavy. The bezel is a fully lumed ceramic 120 click unidirectional with a very good action. You can hear the clicks pretty good. Although it is kind of stiff. It's got good action, little back play, but it is a stiff bezel. But that's fine. I'd rather have it too stiff than too loose. It has a blue sunburst dial with applied indices. They also have a black colorway and a green colorway. I chose the blue. I just like blue watches, even though the black would be more authentic to the original Captain Willard. The ADDIESDIVE logo is printed on, as well as the depth rating of 200 meters, which is still 50 meters more than the original Seiko. Seiko is making their own homages to the Captain Willard, but those cost over $1,000. And this one was under 100. The hands have squared ends, the minute hand and the hour hand. And the second hand is a traffic light style, which is a nice touch. It's got the little red dot and the white dot. The date window has a border, and thankfully no cyclops. It has a flat sapphire crystal that only raises about 1 millimeter above the bezel, and it has a signed screw-in crown. So you can see the ADDIESDIVE logo. Case is nicely brushed. It's got polished edges. Really nice brushwork on the case. The screw-down case back does not have a display, which is good. I don't think diver watches should have displays. And it falsely claims divers, even though this is not ISO 6425 rated. It has an NH35 movement. We all know about the NH35, so I won't do a time graph on it. The 20 millimeter bracelet is really a single link, even though it looks like a 3-link. And it tapers down to 18 millimeters at the clasp. It's got female fitted end links that are solid end links, which is nice because it keeps the watch nice and flat on the wrist. The end links have a really tight fit between the lugs, so it's kind of difficult to remove them. I definitely recommend spring bar pliers to remove the end links if you want to put this on a strap. especially to put the end links back on when you restore the bracelet. The bracelet has push pins, but they come out fairly easy. You should be able to adjust the bracelet easy enough, even though it doesn't have screw-in pins. And the clasp is just very simple, basic clasp. Just pressed and only 3 micro adjusts. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. I had to remove 3 links to fit it, so you should be able to wear this if you have a big wrist. And due to the short lug to lug, you should be able to wear this if you have a small wrist. This is a very versatile watch. I really like it. I think it looks sharp. Here's the watch on the NATO strap that came with my Pagani Design No Time to Die homage. I think that looks nice. It looks good on a NATO. And here's the watch on a vintage leather strap. I think that looks nice too. Good looking watch. I was very impressed with the watch's lume. It's one of those watches where you can still make out the lume in the morning. So instead of my usual lume shot, I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison. On the far left we have the Heimdallr Monster. Then we have the Seiko SRPD 59. Both have awesome lume. And on the far right we have a Pagani Design Seamaster homage with decent but not spectacular lume. The ADDIESDIVE holds its own with the Heimdallr and is barely beat out by the Seiko and clearly blows away the Pagani Design. Plus, I was very impressed with the 12 o'clock indicator on the bezel because it doesn't have a lume pip. I wasn't expecting much, but it seems to be lumed more than the rest of the bezel. It's still hard to believe that this watch has lume that's almost as good as the Seiko that costs 3 times as much. What do I like about this watch? Well, the build and finish. It's just great. This is an awesome looking watch. And the price. When it comes to the AliExpress Captain Willard homages, this one was the most affordable. But I am not at all disappointed. Sometimes when you buy the cheapest thing, you are disappointed, but not in this case. And as you saw by my previous lume shots, the lume is great. And I like the fact too that it has a fully lume bezel and not just a 0 indicator. What are my gripes and groans? Well, I usually try to come up with at least 3 gripes and groans, but it's kind of difficult on this watch. I guess the one complaint I can have is the clasp is really dull. It does the job, but it only has 3 micro adjusts, and I always prefer at least 4. And once again, it says divers on the watch when it's not ISO 6425 certified, so it shouldn't say divers. I don't make the rules. Do I recommend this watch? Yes, most certainly. I do recommend this watch. I think it's great. Once again, it was the most affordable of the AliExpress Captain Willards, but still very well built. Awesome lume. Looks really good on the wrist. Very comfortable. And once again, I could find very few complaints about this watch. Well, thank you for watching my video. And I'll be back with another review. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.